I hate to break it to you, but not all clients are good. Now, some of them can give you nightmares, and they're the last people that you want to work with, right? However, telling the good ones apart from toxic clients is a little bit tricky. And even if you're able to identify the bad apples, it's not always easy to reject potential income, correct? But you should do what you gotta do to save your sanity. Now here's how to do that. Hey everyone, this is me Martine from Moms at Work, and in this channel I talk about freelancing and motherhood tips and tricks and anything in between. So if you want to be informed, notified and updated every time we have a new video coming up or when we go live, simply click subscribe button to our YouTube channel called Freelancing Tips by Virtual Boss Mom, where freelancer moms make it together. Alright? Now let's dive in. Today, let's talk about how freelancers can avoid working with bad clients, okay? Now, when I started my freelancing journey, I already knew what types of clients I want to work with. But you know what? Even if I already have something that in my mind, I still was able to work with a few toxic clients in the past. It's just good that somehow I'm able to win two of which and ended to have a good working relationship with them. But of course, that's not always the case, right? Thus, it is only right to be mindful and extra careful when talking to prospects. Now, for years, I've also created my own list of red flags to avoid. Okay, so let's start. Number one, they ask for unreasonably cheap prices. Negotiation is part of the process most of the time, but steer clear of prospects who haggle for a much cheaper rate. Now, of course, not every client can afford your services, especially if you know what you can bring to the table, what you're doing, and what value you have, okay? But a prospect that thinks you're too expensive and is unwilling to pay a fair price means they don't see the value in what you do, okay? Offer a cheaper alternative if you must, like negotiating the scope of the work, but don't bend over backwards just to get the project. Now, if you feel like the client is discrediting your time and your skills just to bring your rates down, it's a cue to run. Number two, they want it done now. Deadlines are stressful as they are, even more so if they're unreasonable. So if a client wants to get the project done within an unrealistic time frame, that's your cue to run. Otherwise, get ready for stressful days ahead. Insisting crazy short deadlines even after you explained that it isn't doable is a sign that the prospect doesn't value your schedule. Not only that, extremely tight deadlines also leads to poor quality of work, which isn't good for you and for your reputation. Okay? So no matter how you look at it, super tight deadlines aren't ideal because it affects also your performance. Number three, micromanager. Freelancers, employees alike, hate micromanagers, and for good reasons. In the past, we've already talked about how freelancers have a say in every project we take on. Now, giving this sense of control drives micromanagers crazy as they feel powerless over the project. Also, nitpicking every aspect of the project is a telltale sign that the client doesn't trust you and your ability to get the job done. Number four, sets unrealistic requirements during the interview, pre-screening, and discovery call. Project requirements and deliverables will be discussed. Now, if the client sets hilariously unrealistic requirements in a long-winded application process from the outset, take it as a red flag. A long list of qualifications for a job might be impossible to meet, and unnecessarily complicated application process is a waste of time. Number five, poor communication. The next red flag is when the client can communicate well. Now, this type of nightmare clients either over communicate or do not communicate at all. Now, the first one bombards your inbox with emails asking for updates, while the second often misses messages and is unsure of what they actually want for the project. Number six, Ask for free work or unpaid test. Now this one's a divisive topic, but personally I don't offer free work or take unpaid test. I believe that a good proposal, a winning profile, and a sample work should be enough to demonstrate, to show what I can do as a freelancer. Performing unpaid exams isn't necessary. Number 7, negative reviews. Just like in traditional employment, you must research about the company or the client before signing a contract or accepting an offer. Now look for reviews in job sites, LinkedIn, social media, and see what others have to say about the prospect. Now, while reading the reviews, imagine yourself working with that type of person. Now, if you can't see feedback, you may also check and ask around social media groups, okay? Last but not least, number 8, it doesn't feel right. Now, when you feel like the prospect is giving off a bad vibe, trust your gut. This red flag is probably the hardest one to spot and avoid. However, if your instincts tell you that you have to run, it's right most of the time. Identifying red flags isn't easy when you're just starting. But I hope that this list helps in order for you to avoid toxic clients. As you gain experience and work with various people, you'll be able to tell a nightmare client from miles away. Trust me. Now, to avoid working with bad or toxic clients altogether, you just need to understand what the client is actually looking for and how you can exactly help them. Because sometimes it's just a bad fit though, okay? So a well-aligned client is a privilege to work with, which is why it's very important to assess, to ask questions, and be very discerning during the discovery calls or during client interviews. Use this time wisely to get to know the client better and to learn if there's someone you'd want to work with, okay? When you do this, you protect yourself from bad clients by talking only to ideal prospects or to people who respect you and who value the result of what you're providing for. Enough to respect your boundaries too, okay? So, what are clients really looking for? Do you know how to tell bad apples from the good ones? Let me know in the comment section. And if you find this video helpful, please message us too. So that's it for now, moms. Much love and see you in the next video.